Well, welcome Camille. This is absolutely fantastic to have you here on JBN Network and getting to know a bit about you and about your business and what you do. And I know that the people watching this video are going to be really interested in what you have to share with us. So I know that you have a business called Ignite Mr. Right, which is such an exciting and interesting name for a business. Tell us a little bit about you for a start, and
Sure.
you know what motivated you to actually start this, a business like this? Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting story because initially I was doing general life coaching and I knew I had to specialize in something that I was really passionate about, and I knew that there was something that I could add more value in, and it's finding a suitable partner was a huge challenge for me, like especially in from my late 20s to my early 30s.
Yeah.
I was on a mission, and all my friends were saying to me, I don't understand why you're an attractive lady, you're creative, you've got a lot going on for you, but I was just struggling. And then I eventually found my Mr. Right by doing lots of different things, different personal development courses, read lots of books, and that's what got me to create a unique approach, and I really wanted to help single women out there in having the love life they deserve.
So, it's not that you need to be absolutely knocked down gorgeous and that's the answer to finding a relationship, which I think that some people that are watching this think, well, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not slim enough, I'm not young enough, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I don't have the right career, or I don't come from the right background, all these reasons that people have. That's got nothing to do with it, really, has it?
Absolutely not, because it's interesting, like sometimes my most attractive women in the sort of the media sort of sense attractive, they struggle the most, because often women who are very, very attractive, sometimes they're not actually in touch with their inner beauty. So it doesn't matter what shape, size, age women are, once they connect with their unique inner beauty, that's what men fall in love with.
And I guess it's about showing that part of yourself so that it can be seen.
Definitely. Because a guy won't fall in love unless he can really connect to that, unless he can really feel that in a woman. If a woman isn't connected to that herself and she can't feel it, she doesn't know what that feels like to her or what that looks like to her. She can't really, a guy won't see that. So it of course all starts with a relationship with self, and really by connecting to that uniqueness that we all have.
Now, I know that you also work with men as well.
Yes.
So some people that are listening to this would maybe male and be thinking, okay, well, what about us?
Sure.
How has your experience assisted you to sort of have an understanding of them and what they require?
Well, I guess with men are actually sometimes a lot easier to work with, because they're very good at just taking on feedback, and they often learn better from a female because I can give them the female perspective. So I guess, as you know, with men, we really need them to know, we really need to see that they are on track, they know who they are, they know what their mission is. And again, it doesn't matter what they do, it's are they proud of what they do? Do they really know
passion for what they do? And
absolutely, and it's it can be about their it's again their inner confidence as well. So sure, body language and all of that comes into it, but if a guy is not proud of who he is, or he doesn't really have a clear sense of what his direction is, a woman won't really trust him as a guy. So that's and it can be often quite a quick process for a guy to really connect to that. But it really helps to have that female perspective, and guys are really great to work with.
Cool, that's really good.
And of course I love men, like even though I help women and I'm so passionate helping them, I think there are great men everywhere. Men are great. Often we just don't bring out the best in them as well.
I think you've hit on a really good point, actually, because I think a lot of it is about us as women. I think we have an enormous amount of power as to how we actually operate in the world, don't we? Like how things happen. And since the changes, I think, in the way we structure our workforce now and the way that we now interact is completely different to, say, 50 years ago, before the Second World War, when all that seemed to change, and there was a women's movement and all that sort of thing happened. I think it's really altered a lot about and created a lot of confusion.
Definitely.
As to how women are meant to behave and how men are meant to behave, and how this whole dating and relationship dynamics seems to have altered quite a lot.
Definitely. So, the guys are confused, the women are confused, and it's actually a lot of people don't get the results they really want.
So you yourself are in a really happy, beautiful relationship, and I look at you and think, oh my goodness, you just more or less got it all, Camille. Like,
well,
you're beautiful.
It's not always smooth sailing, so I definitely don't want to give that. It's a journey. There's lots of ups and downs with the business as well. Like it's taken me longer than what I would have liked to. It's all about perseverance with the relationship. It's been 6 years now. I think it's 6 years in October.
Okay, wonderful.
And of course we've gone through challenges, but for me I just feel so grateful that I have met someone who I can build a future with. And I've learned so much by being in a committed relationship. And I'm learning, every day is a new day with, okay, how can I add more to the relationship? I think one of the mistakes that we make is often about, okay, what can I get? Like, what can I get from this? But I often ask myself now, it's okay, well, how can I enrich his life more? What do I bring to the table? Who do I need to be to keep this relationship passionate? Beautiful. So always looking back at myself, which sometimes it's easier said than done. It's a journey, absolutely.
It is a journey. I can certainly relate to that. And I love the fact that you've brought up that it's about what you can bring to the relationship and what you can give to the relationship, because so often we are about, well, okay, what's in it for me? What can I get? He's not doing this, she's not doing that. Whereas it's okay, well, what are their needs? What more could I do to enrich this relationship? So that obviously is working. I mean, you can see it in you.
And also really it's been working because I have made it a priority in my life, and I've done a lot of work on it. So I wouldn't have this relationship if I wouldn't have done all the things I did. So I actually do think relationships are, sometimes it takes more work than what we're willing to admit. But once we find that rhythm and that flow, I mean, it's the most amazing thing. Like if I had to choose between, all the money in the world and everything, like to be loved and to love with someone who's really right for us, it's priceless.
Of course,
it really
absolutely.
is.
And I find it fascinating that many of us invest more in property and finding the right career than we do finding and investing in the right relationship. And really, it's the right relationship that's the building block to everything else.
So true.
So, and
I think part of that, it's a good point that you mentioned, and part of that is also, I guess as little girls, we were told that it was just going to be this amazing fairy tale. So why would I go and need to see a dating coach or read all, like, it should just happen like
Shouldn't
that.
It just happen? It should just be like, everybody else, like you just meet someone and it all falls into place.
And on the movies, it all just looks so amazing. Like, so it's sort of understandable that women do struggle a little bit with, okay, well, why do I actually have to invest in this? But it's not always that easy initially.
Now, I also believe you've got a book coming out, Camille.
Yes, so this has been a book that it's been a bit of been writing it for a couple of years now, but
Yeah.
I finally committed myself to have it out by
Wonderful.
November this year. So November
Wonderful.
it'll be out. It'll be out on for pre-order,
Okay.
pre-sale, and by the 1st of September.
Yeah.
So it'll be on my website. So very exciting.
Okay.
It's Ignite Mr. Right, the magic formula to attract your Mr. Right.
Okay, so you've actually got steps in there for people to follow on
Yes.
how to find the relationship.
Yeah,
for
so
them.
there's going to be a bit of a
Beautiful.
process that I take women
Wonderful.
through, similar than on the webinar course, but I made it
Yeah.
even more broken down the
Yeah.
steps even more, and
Oh, wonderful.
so it's going to be I'm really looking forward to having it
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there in the world.
And I believe you've also got a workshop coming up, which we'll talk about at another time. But
Definitely.
that would be great as well for people to be able to come and see you and actually listen and hear what you have to say. And
That's right. So it'll be a one-day workshop, and
Yeah.
you will be one of my guest speakers.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. I really am. That will be wonderful.
So that's going to be another great thing, because what I found, a lot of the women have said
Yeah.
that they actually do prefer coming to workshops rather than doing an online program. So
Yes.
that's why I created the one-day workshop where everyone connects
Yeah,
and
and I
learns
was
from
going to
each
say,
other.
it's all about connection, and also we all learn from each other. So,
Definitely.
you know, different experiences and support, and to know that you're not on your own through this process, I'm sure that that's a really valuable thing, to know that it's not just you, that there are other people that actually go through this journey as
Definitely.
well, and that you can share this experience and help each other and support each other, because you know the dating process is not always easy. I can certainly vouch for that. You know, when I went through this process, just you know, over the last 18 months, I guess, and
But you had a lot of fun as well, didn't you?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I certainly learned to enjoy it, but I needed to learn to enjoy it because I found myself, and you were really helpful with this with me, was that you know you become really focused on one person, and you want that, you know, this is it, you know, and then when it doesn't work out, it's kind of like, oh my God, I'm devastated.
The whole world
world crumbles. And it's exhausting and it's tiring, and you do need to invest in it. It actually took me a lot of time, money-wise and
Sure.
emotional-wise and time-wise. I needed to invest in it. But then, you know, I did think, you know, I spent a lot of time looking for the house that I'm living in. I spent a lot of time looking for the apartment that I live in with the most amazing view and the best location. I put a lot of time and effort into that. Okay, well, I need to do that for this relationship as well, and you know, and it's paid off.
And it's all worth it in the
It
end.
is absolutely all worth it. Yeah. So, yeah. So fantastic, Camille. Well, we'll just leave it there for today. I'm sure we're going to catch up again soon and follow on with even more information about Ignite Mr. Right. So thanks
Thanks so much for having me today.
You are welcome. You are welcome.